Hi, I'm Giancarlo.
And I'm Felicia.
And this is our review of...
P.I.
Apparently it's Gangster P.I.
P.I.
Magnum P.I. Remember Magnum with Tom Selleck?
Magnum P.I.
You remember that?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. No, I
Young.
thought I was an old fart.
No.
It doesn't look like Magnum P.I. though.
No, not at all. He looks,
It looks like the guy based on L.A. Noire, the Xbox game.
No, that's not what I was thinking, but sure. We'll go with that.
Well, what were you thinking?
I don't know, it's a show, right? The guy with the hat and he's all slick.
The show with the guy in the hat. I wonder which one that is.
Sherlock.
So
I'm thinking
narrowed down.
Sherlock is what
Sherlock.
I'm thinking, yeah.
This guy looks like Sherlock.
No, the TV shows.
Looks like this guy.
Yeah, the TV show on Netflix.
No, I haven't seen it.
You gotta get on that shit.
Let's go back to Magnum P.I.
Okay, Magnum P.I.
With his stash.
Stash.
Yeah, stash.
Oh.
That stash. No, the other stash. I don't know. What stash were you? You were thinking of his lower stash, weren't you? His Magnum stash. That's what you were thinking of.
No, I was thinking of his drug stash.
The fuck? Was he caught with
A
drugs
stash.
or something?
No, but when you say I got a stash, I automatically go to my stash of
I thought you meant this. I meant this stash.
Yeah, and then you
thought
went somewhere else.
This stash.
Yeah, that's what I
and I thought you meant. In PI, players play as private investigators in a race against each other to solve their case in an American film noir setting. In the box you'll find 25 investigator counters, 15 disc tokens, 50 cubes, 5 penalty counters, 15 case counters from first case, second case, and third case, 36 evidence cards, 16 suspect cards, 10 crime case cards, 14 location case cards, 14 suspect tiles, 14 crime tiles, 3 black discs used for solving cases, a first player marker, a game board with the city's 14 different locations, tile slots, points tracks, and penalty track, and 3 rule books, one in English, one in French, and the other in German. Be the quickest private investigator to solve your cases with the least amount of errors in 3 sessions to claim your title as Best PI and win.
Here's how to set up. Place the board in the middle of the table. Give each player a set of player pieces of a chosen color. Separate the suspect, crime, and location into their respective deck. Shuffle each deck thoroughly and give 1 card for each deck to each player. Players can look at these cards, but keep them secret from other players. Shuffle all suspect tiles face down. Put 1 in location on the game board in the lower left open slots. Do the same for the crime tiles, but place these in the lower right slots of each location and then flip all the tiles face up. Shuffle the evidence cards to form a deck and reveal 9 cards. Randomly determine the first player and give them the first player token. You are now ready to begin investigating.
Here's how to play. PI is played over 3 case-solving minigames. Within those games, starting with the first player, the players have a choice between 3 actions. He can place an investigator in a location, select an evidence card, or attempt to solve his case, which are the cards to the player's right, which we will call the contact for this review. Once he has chosen an action, play proceeds clockwise to the next player, while he in turn will once again choose one of the available 3 actions. When choosing to place an investigator, the active player will take one of his investigator tokens and place it in a location. For each tile matching his case cards, the contact puts the active player's colored disc on his investigator token. For each tile that matches but is in a location adjacent to the investigator token, the contact must place a colored cube of the active player's color on the investigator token. The select an evidence card action is used a little later on this game to narrow down the possibilities. Here, the active player will choose a card from one of the 9 revealed and immediately replace the card he chose with a new one from the top deck. If the contact has an exact match as the evidence card the active player chose, he must place one of the active player's colored disc on that tile. If the corresponding tile is in an adjacent location, the contact will place a cube on that tile of the selected evidence card. And the last action the player can take is to attempt to solve the case.
To do this action, the active player simply takes the 3 black discs and places 1 on each of the suspect, location, and crime tile that he thinks match his case. The contact then tells the active player if he's right or wrong. in which case he'll get points or penalties. If the black discs are right, the contact reveals his card. The active player now gets to place the first case token on the 7-point box if he's the first player to solve the case. If he solved the case after the other players, he puts his first case token on 5 or 3. The active player then removes all his investigation tokens, discs, and cubes, and places his colored discs on the tiles of his solved case, removing the black ones for the use of other players. When attempting to solve the case, if he gets some of the tiles wrong, he places his penalty token down one space on the penalty track, giving him -2 points, which will be calculated at the end of the game. On his next turn, he can try solving the case again. When all cases have been solved, or only one player who hasn't solved the case remains, the second case begins. Players take back all their tokens, all case cards are returned to their respective deck, they're shuffled once again, and players get new suspect, location, and crime case cards. The first player marker is moved to the next player and game 2 can begin. At the end of the third case, points are added from the points track and subtracted from the penalty track. The player with the most points has the reputation of being the best detective in the city and wins PI.
We really enjoyed playing PI. It's like playing a visceral version of Minesweep and Sudoku, but more badass because it's an American film noir theme. I mean, really, you can play with numbers or mine solo, or race against other PIs trying to figure out if it was Bubbles that blew Shorty out of the water in Lakeside. The best part is the games are fairly quick and we got quickly addicted playing it soon after a game ended. It's a great deduction game and even following your detective hunch as to where to place your investigator token on the first round. It's amazing to see how sometimes 2 parts of your case are in the same location and you just guessed right. So yes, there is a little bit of luck, but it's definitely mental deduction in the end that will win the game. There's also a little bit of risk-taking involved when faced with a 50-50 chance and you know the next players will solve his case. Do you take a guess and risk getting high points or penalties? Or wait one more turn, get less points, but solve the case with no mistake and hope you do better next case? And watching what other players have deducted based on their tokens can sometimes help your case. So you're constantly paying attention to see what other players do. You may even take a card from the evidence display to impede another player from getting crucial information on their case, and hope it benefits you in the process. And as far as production quality is involved, it is top notch. Tiles came off clean with no tear, they're sturdy and thick, same as the board. The art really adds to the theme and you feel like you're in the movie Chinatown or LA Confidential. Tokens and cards are just as high quality, and the rulebook is a one-shot read and you get it without any unanswered questions. Gameplay is intuitive and involving. And you want to make it harder? Get yourself a little plastic hourglass when players are trying to solve their case, just to add to the pressure. PI is nothing short than amazing if you like competitive, mind-deducing games that take less than an hour. It's just as fun as 2 players as it is as 5. We're giving PI 8.5 out of 10.